Hey there, my name is Captain Still Here Wishbone, and today we are gonna do something incredible. We're gonna start our mega base. And you might be thinking, well, Cap, you only have one hand. How is it? Are you going to do a whole nother episode with one hand? Why, no, I am not. You see, I just got back from the doctor's office where he gave me some good news, and it doesn't even come with a catch this time. Well, not for you guys anyways. He said that I could move my shoulder as far as I could tolerate it, and there is no time to waste. And so... Achievement! Oh man, that feels good. Look at this, I'm using my little leggies at the same time as I'm using my little handies. This is so great. Man, what am I gonna do with this newfound power? Well, I suppose you'll just have to wait and find out. I feel like you guys deserve a decent tour of this place since we didn't really give you one last episode. Here are the captain's quarters. I didn't put too much detail into it. You know, this is first and foremost a storage area, but I wanted it to be a little bit pretty. So here's the captain's quarters. A little bit of redstone. Over here is a nice bedroom. On the other side, a little facility for the captain. On the deck below, here's a little workshop where I can make banners, I can form maps, a little bit of storage. Over on this side, we got a tooling thing and a thing to make rocks look pretty, furnaces, a smelter machine thing. This should provide me with just about everything I need as I'm building this Titanic ship. And then, of course, the most important part is all of these shipping containers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to layer shulker boxes up on these. So from a distance, if all the shulker boxes are the same color, they might actually look like shipping containers that you would see on an actual shipping barge. And then, of course, we had Lane working on... Well, I'm going to sneak around. Ooh! Little rusty. We had Lane working on these fantastic beacons, the black, yellow, and white. And you know what? I feel like this warrants finally telling you exactly what we're going to be working on. The unsinkable ship, the very same RMS Titanic. This bad boy is going to be a 1 to 1.5 ratio, thereabouts. At first, I thought it was going to be a 1 to 1 ratio, but the designers of the ship had actually decided that it would be more feasible in Minecraft because of the size of the blocks and what you were working with to make it a little bit larger. So, as impressed as you would be if this were a 1 to 1 ratio, you're like 60% more impressed that it's going to be that much bigger. So where do we begin? Well, I think it's best to work from the bottom up. So today we're going to do at least the red section that was underwater, and maybe even the black section up to that gold bar right across the middle. I say maybe the black section as well, because this is going to take a poop ton of concrete. And by poop ton, I'll show you. One sec. This here is my material list. I spent the last year or so building this in creative just so I could get this list and formulate the best plan to build this on camera. And this is the result. So we are going to look at concrete. Looks like we got 108,000 white, 29,000 red, 17,000 black, and 1,500 gray. So that comes out to 156,938 total concrete between the four colors. Now, I have done a little bit of grinding. I just couldn't sit still, so I went out and gathered up 42 shulker boxes full of gravel with one hand. That went about as well as you would imagine. But I still need a whole crap ton of sand, so that's what we're actually going to be working on today. But first, this barge is looking a little bit too barren for my liking. So, we've got all of those shulker boxes over at the Hobbit hole. Let's go on over, we'll grab them and bring them on back, and we'll start filling this baby up. Oh, and I almost forgot, I bought myself a housewarming gift. It's not much, but... Oh, that makes me so happy. Pudding, I'm home. How are you? You've been a good little girl. Have you been busy? Oh, yeah, you have. Okay, right in here is where everyone's been dropping stuff off. Now, I know it doesn't look like much at first, but we look in here. Oh, hold on. We look in here, look how many beds we've got, and that's not all. Check that out. A full double chest and then some just of beds. Melissa went crazy, so if you have a chance, go say hi to Melissa and tell her thanks from Cap. All right, I'm gonna start gathering this stuff up. I will see you back at the barge. And we're back. Now this does not look quite as impressive as I thought it would, but you know what? It kind of makes sense because each one of these will hold like 78. I don't think I have a single material that I need just one of 78 shulkers full, so it's okay. It'll slowly fill up and they won't all be the same color, shipping container, but that's all right, not a big deal. And perhaps you'll notice a new feature that wasn't here before, these fancy torches, because we had a bit of a close call, didn't we? I'm just glad I was up here instead of down there. But yeah, not quite so private anymore. Although that does give me an idea on how to bolster up security around here. Oh, Pudding! Come here, you. Pudding, get in the boat. Pudding. Almost there. Nice! Uh-oh. Welcome aboard, Pudding. Okay, now you be really nice, and don't be scooting all over Captain Sigma Lissa's boat, okay? You be a good girl. Okay, bye. And there we go. Nice. Okay, so what's next? Hi, Puddin'! I think it's about time we go out and grab us some sand. Now, if I remember right, there was a big old desert out back east, so let's head that way, and we will gather up as much as our little shulker box can hold. Yes, perfect. Sand as far as the eye can see, which is not very far. Now, this is probably a lot more than we need, and if I remember right, there was a fun little patch over here that I thought we could dig out. Just a little personal-sized patch. Please load, don't kill me. Yay! Okay, this is perfect. See, it's just kind of like this perfect little dish, and we can just scoop out... Uh-oh. Creeper. Gotta watch out for threats. Oh, like that one. I think we can find a new patch. Here's one. This looks pretty. Wait a second. Let's go back and do a little recon. Hold on. I have an idea. No, climb, Cap. Okay, let's enter super secret fancy fly mode and go take a little peek. Sometimes in these little cages, they have spoils. Okay, iron golem, and some dead bushes, and... Yes! Okay, remember these things? These are like the little fairy allay things. They're super cute, way helpful, I think. Okay, hear me out. Cap is no good at these kind of things, but I really want a pair of those allays. So... let's do this. Oh! I think I missed. Uh-oh. Why don't you hop on out of there, bud? I could use your help. Come on. It's okay. Good boy. Okay, you guys are with me now. How do I need to... Oh. Yay! An achievement! Let's check this place out while there's nobody here to guard it. How do I get in? Through the wall. Ooh! Uh-oh, I lost them both. Guys! Yay! Oh, yay! Will they keep up with me if I fly? Oh, here they come! Oh, they're zippy! Okay, so would you like to talk about a potential change in employment? We offer good benefits. I offer health and dental. I can give you all the chicken you want. Hey, now I'm speaking their language. Fan-freaking-tastic. I am so happy. I'm so glad we ran into this. I don't know, however, if the baddies will come back to this little outpost thing. So I think I should probably go find a better place. This is where I leave you, and your newly claimed... I freed you... Ah! Okay, I think here should be a pretty good place to grind out some sand. Just because, it's under God's thumb, and it should be pretty safe over here. Huh? No? Anybody? If you understand that reference, you're a legend. Oh, that's what I can name you? You can be Stanley Yelnats, and you can be Zero. Hey, don't you run from me, Zero! Alright, boys. Let's get digging. And we're done. That took about 4 days, but everything under God's thumb is now void of sand. This is about 80,000 blocks of sand I just mined up, and I'm about done with it. I don't know, I never want to see another block of sand again. Oh, also, these guys weren't collecting fast enough, and so we collected a couple more. This is Mr. Sir. He's kind of in charge of the whole group. And then these two are currently fighting over who gets to be armpit. Well, now we've got the sand, gravel, and dye, so all that's left is to put them together, one by one, painstakingly 156,225 concrete. Let's do this. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't be caught dead trying to do that. I'd cancel my channel before I did that. Hey, do you like this trailer that I made? If that's not the most redneck thing you ever saw, I just needed a little space, so I dropped a trailer out the back. No, we're not going to be doing it manually. Instead, we're going to be building ourselves a shulker monster. Now, you might be saying, Captain Wishbone, that's what we're trying to avoid here with this barge. Yes, let me show you what I mean. Let's run up here. We'll probably do the gray ones first, because that's the least amount. There's only one shulker of those. Then we'll come over here. We'll grab a couple boxes of sand, a couple boxes of gravel, and a couple receiving boxes. So we'll put this probably right about there. Hopper, shulker, a couple building blocks, crafter, and we're gonna feed the crafter with some sand and some gravel and some dye. Looks like it's working like a charm already. Oh, you gotta organize it though, gotta organize it. Okay, so we're gonna grab a little of this, drop it in there, and then aha! So now the recipe for gray concrete is in, and it's just waiting for power. But we're not done. I want to be able to sit back and ignore this for as long as I possibly can. So more sand, more gravel, and because we only need one box of gray dye, we're not gonna put any more up on top. And now we just take a step back and roar! Big scary monster made out of shulker boxes. Shulker monster! Roar! Roar. Now, other than striking fear into the heart of whoever looks upon this terrible shulker monster, it also serves a purpose. It's going to craft up all of our concrete for us, but it's gonna need power, and you might ask, Cap, how is it done? Well, I will show you. We're gonna build a little trail out here of redstone, and then we're gonna power it like so. You can see? Wow! Well, now that we've got power, how do we get it to shut off? I could just sit here and do this, but that's no better than just flicking a lever. So let me show you a cool trick. If you were to place a block down, and then place that torch on the side of the block, if you power this block with another source, this torch will turn off. You see? So, why don't we use this torch's power to shut itself off? We'll just come around here like this, and then we'll come this way. And hold on, Cap! Whoa! Whoa! That was almost really bad. If you overpower this, if you get it going too quick, your torch will burn out. That's okay. You can just break the torch away and you'll get it back. But we're gonna need to slow that down just a little bit. So grab a repeater, plug her into the back here, and even at the fastest click, that's still a little too fast. So pull it back to the second, and then... ta-da! It's just gonna keep doing that forever and ever. Now, what happens when this gets all filled up? Ah, crap, you're right. I gotta learn how to shut this off somehow. Well, we'll just come over here and use a lever and turn the torch off. Now there's no impulses repeating through and turning this on and off and on and off again. This is just backlog, don't worry about it. It's shut off, I promise. It's not making any more. Then once you get these swapped out for new empty shulker boxes, you can come back over here and turn this back on. Now, you at home can make a Captain Wishbone super scary shulker monster. Roar! I also have to give a big thank you to Zinkberg for teaching me how to do this. Zink, you are an absolute legend. Alright, while this is running, I think I'll just go ahead and build me a second one. Nice! Now, I did run into a little problem where this only has one slot to fill up, and these have 4 slots each. So these are going to fill up a little bit slower than this. So eventually, these will end up drying out, and then you'll fill this whole thing up with dye, and then this will stop working. This is a little bit slow on the repeated impulse, so every now and then you'll just have to shut it off, just to give the gravel and sand time to catch up. Alright, I'm gonna let these run for a while, and I'll catch back up with you when we've got 27 shulkers. Well, there you have it, folks. 27 What the? Hello? Well, that was weird. Anyways, 27 shulker boxes filled with concrete powder. Now I'm going to go and use Izzy's concrete machines to add water to these. I will be back in just a few minutes.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Finally, I am finished. That took so freaking long. I thought, hey, it's a machine. It's got to be more efficient, right? Than just doing it by hand. I don't know. I don't know if it would be. That literally took like 8 hours. That includes a lunch break. Every time that chest filled up, I had to empty it out, and then my tools kept getting broken, and the machine kept eating my concrete like a bad vending machine, and you lose quarters and stuff. But I am like kind of ready to start doing something else. How about we build a ship or something, But before that, I've got just one more teeny tiny little interruption. Don't worry, it won't take long, but I have a little confession to make. So, on today's episode of Cap Comes Clean, I didn't really design this ship. Now, I never claimed that I did. Don't you? I mean, don't get the wires crossed there. I'm going to build this ship, and I have already built this ship once in creative, but I did not design this ship. The credit for that goes to 3 incredible Minecraft artists. All 3 of them followed the original blueprints of the ship. They tried to make it as accurate to real life as possible. Rich LaRousse designed the exterior, and I followed his design to a T. I followed every block placement that he did. It is exactly the same. Once the shell of the ship was made, Pipkin 06 and the newbie 1990. I don't think he has a YouTube channel. I think that's just kind of his thing. His name is Will. Pipkin 06 and Will designed the interior. And again, they followed the original blueprints to the best of their ability. I mean, there are some limitations in Minecraft, but they did their best, and it looks pretty good. Now, I did not follow their tutorial to a T. They kept encouraging us to make it our own. You know, they gave us kind of the outline, and then we could take it and make it our Titanic. But of course, I still tried to make it as historically accurate as possible. So a big uber mega thank you to Rich LaRousse, Pipkin 06, and that guy named Will for putting that ship together and giving me permission to put it in CraftWorks, put it on my YouTube channel. I'm going to go ahead and link their channels down in the description. Please go check them out and tell them Cap sent you. But yeah, anyways, I knew I wanted to build the ship. I knew I needed to build the ship. I just knew that I wasn't probably the right guy to design the ship. It's like that one quote from Rilo Ken in that Galaxy Battle movie. I knew what the thing was that I wanted to be having done, but I didn't think that it was I who had the capacity to make it to be a thing. And finally, one last thing before we set sail. You might be thinking, Cap, isn't it a little insensitive to build the Titanic after crashing your last ship? And you know, I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. So the Titanic is a ship. What happened to the Titanic was a travesty. A lot of lives lost, really, really sad event. But we're not building the event of the Titanic. We are admiring the craftsmanship, the workmanship. I mean, consider all the technical limitations that they had building it from like 1909 to 1911, and they still came out with this freaking massive, epic ship. So that's what we're building, and we can do it in homage and in respect for the lives lost, but we can still have a good time doing it. We'll just make a really concerted effort not to make light of it along the way. So with that out of the way, I don't know if you're ready. I'm kind of ready. I don't know if I'm really ready. No, I'm just kidding. I'm super ready. Been ready my whole life. We got our conduits down there. Got a super fancy schmancy helmet with respiration and aqua affinity, and I thought we had depth strider, but I guess we don't. Gonna be spending a lot of time underwater. You know what? Instead of just telling you about it, why don't I just show you? There it is. That's what will be built by the end of this episode. So without further ado, full speed ahead. And there you have it, folks. The largest build I've ever done in my whole life has begun. Honestly, between all the gravel and the sand and the powder and the concrete and then building it and then draining it, this literally took about 9 days worth of work. So I hope you enjoyed the last 30 minutes. I couldn't have done it without my amazing friends. Archon and Millie came and helped me drain this thing out. Millie even donated some shulker boxes and some scaffolding to help speed the process along, so a huge thank you to them. Go and check their channels out if you would. And one final thank you to my sweet, understanding family. I haven't seen much of them the last couple days. The day I decided I was going to build the Titanic was the day my wife lost her husband. So, thanks for being understanding, honey. I owe you one. Honestly, I'm just glad I get to build this in the comfort of my office instead of out, in some harbor somewhere. Did you know there were over 3 million rivets on this ship? Just on the hull alone. Yeah, they had a couple dozen teams working on those rivets, and a good team could get about 200 done a day. So this took them, forever just to do the rivets on the hull. Crazy. And I complain about a couple of days. This was the largest ship of its time, and not everybody thought it was a great idea. There was one person who lived near the shipyard that it was being built at, and they were quoted to say it was the shape of a ship, but a ship so monstrous and unthinkable that it towered high over the buildings and dwarfed the very mountains beside the water. But most of the time the reception was positive. There was a crewman that had sailed the Atlantic for, 40-something years, and he was quoted to say they can make them bigger and faster, but it was the care and effort that went into her. She was a beautiful and a wonderful ship. So what's next for our beautiful and wonderful ship? Well, we're going to start, again, from the bottom up. So we're going to do the tank top deck. That's the deck that is the very lowest walkable deck. It's where all the boiler rooms go and the bulkheads and the engines. That's what we're going to be doing in the next episode. Oh, and you'll notice I did leave a little bit of gap. This is not part of the ship. It's just I needed to be able to get in and out to work on said tank top deck. Before we do that, though, I gotta come whip these guys into shape. They were complaining just the other day. They were like, I'm tired of this, Captain. And I was like, well, that's 2 days.